What's going on, guys? Bearded Paddler back here. Want to do another walkthrough video. This come up in a comment from one of the people that gave us some feedback there, and I really appreciate that. So a kayak that he was wanting to kind of wonder if we were going to do a video on was the Pescador 10 by Perception. And you know what? I had some downtime here. Why not? It's a kayak that I consider one of the best budget-friendly kayaks on the market. You're getting a quality roto-molded US-made kayak made by Perception. It comes in at 10.5 feet long, so it's a little bit over that 10 foot like the name might suggest. 32 inches wide, got a 325 pound weight capacity, and it only weighs 57 pounds. So there she is. Color shown here is Grasshopper. Perception's been running kind of the same color schemes really for a few years now. So again, virtually unchanged in that time. Again, I own one of these myself. The one I own is the moss green, but they come in a variety of colors. They come in the Dapper, which is kind of the blue and black. They come in Funkadelic, which is the same color you see on the kids' kayak there. Grasshopper here, and again, that moss green, which a lot of people are familiar with. I'll get into this. First, like I said, I own one of these. This is my first kayak that I bought. Me and my wife came in here, and guys, I still have this. We still run this kayak. It has still been, we've had it about 3 years now. Great beginner-friendly kayak. So you get a pretty nice handling, paddling kayak. It's stable enough that's good for that beginner. If you're a beginner paddler, just want a good, no-nonsense, good throw-and-go boat that you can fish from also, this is definitely worth a look. So molded-in handles on the front, which I'm a big fan of, and the back. You do have the benefit of in-hole storage and tank well. So if that's important to you, you're getting that with this kayak. It does kind of have these locking hinges. Really nice open space in there. You do have this little cord. So if you got like a dry box with those dry box with little carabiner cord, which I suggest, hook it onto this. It tethers it to it, and that way, because let's face it, when you've been floating for a long period of time, the last thing you want to do is fish all your stuff, your small items out of your kayak. You be out there at the dock just shaking it and trying to get all that. Again, do yourself a favor. Really small thing. Small hinges swing big doors. That's one of my favorite sayings. Adjustable foot pegs on the slide rails here. You do have gear track on this. So this is one of the more inexpensive kayaks that introduced the gear tracks. It is the composite gear tracks. It's not the aluminum, but again, that kind of saves your cost a little bit. Really nice deep cup holder here molded into it. And let's be honest, the molded in cup holders, I don't care if you're in a Hobie, a Jackson, Perception or anything, the molded in cup holders aren't always the best. This one goes a little deeper, but if you got a taller tumbler like a Yeti or something, like a 30 ouncer, you may want to invest in like a Yak Attack track mounted cup holder. It may be a little top heavy on this, but if you're just rocking a can with a koozie, that's going to fit in there perfectly, guys. So scupper holes throughout. It does self-drain. Really important to notice, you do have scupper holes under the seat. So that prevents you from sitting in a pool of bath water on a hot summer day, because let's be honest with you, that's about as fun as it sounds. Again, a big thing, a little bitty thing, but it's going to mean a lot to you when you're out there. The side handles are kind of molded in. They're kind of, etched in there. Not the best for carrying your kayak on the side, but let's be honest, who really carries their kayak from the side handles unless you got to sit inside, you're just throwing it up on the shoulder. What that does do, though, is if you're dumped out of your kayak, you're going to reach across there and grab those and pull yourself in. That does help with that. So keep that in mind. Always be thinking about what happens if you get dumped from the kayak, if you're out in the middle of the lake. Are you comfortable with climbing back in it? So always think about that. Always wear your life vest. That goes without saying, but it should be said. Nice gel pad seat. Again, if you want additional support, throw a kayak cushion on it, throw a stadium seat cushion on there. You're gonna like it a lot better if you're comfortable with the seat. If you're a lighter paddler, that's going to be adequate for you. But again, those cushions definitely make a decent seat even better. What I do like, though, you'll see how these straps kind of go out wide. That'll help with your rubbing or chafing on your sides. Plus, where that where that strap attaches to the seat, it is kind of on the lower side, so you don't have it up in your armpits there. So just, again, little bitty thing that really kind of means a lot when you're talking about being on the water for a long period of time. You do have these ports back here. Those are meant to stick a rod in. They're a little on the wide side. They're not the best for, I don't know that I would be putting my Shimano or any rod that you're not willing to dump into the drink. Again, you know, if you got something that you want more securement on, you can get those Omega rod holders, those Yak Attack rod holders, and mount them on there. So kind of consider that. Really large tank well, so gear, dry bags, anything like that. Your molded in handles here, again, that's really good for tie downs. It's not the fabric handles. These do have that skid plate. That skid plate on the bottom. So again, I call it the sacrificial skid plate. You can replace those really easily. You can buy those online. Don't be afraid to drag your kayak. And you got the little paddle strap here and the little recessed area where your paddle sits. So that's good for storage. It's also good if you just want to drift for a little bit and you don't want to mess with your paddle. Again, I don't mind laying it across my lap if I'm just wanting to drift. Bunging it in, it can kind of, if you're panicking, trying to get a hold of, you see you're drifting towards something you don't want to, maybe a brush lay down, a fallen tree, or that, you know, that snake in the water, you know, the first thing you're gonna lose is your motor skills. So sometimes I just like having it laying across my my lap there. But anyway, guys, that's really it. So it comes in MSRP of $679 from Perception. Again, 57 pounds, 325 pound max. That is a legit capacity on that. Guys, I know people that stand up from these. That's gonna be on the individual. How comfortable are you doing that? But great kayak. Again, my opinion, the best fishing / rec kayak in that price range is that Pescador 10. It's been a staple. It's been there for a long time. They haven't had to change a whole lot to it. They have made some tweaks to it to make it better. But again, when they improve the kayak, we definitely benefit from that. So good budget kayak. You can find them on sale sometimes. You know, Pescador 10, you can find those in your big box stores. Give your paddle shops a chance, guys. A lot of times they can work with you and kind of give you some stuff you're not going to get from a big box store. You guys know I'm not a fan of big box stores, so buy somewhere where they know what they're talking about. This may be the best kayak for you. It may not be. That's where a paddle shop comes in. Talk to somebody who knows what they're talking about. Talk to somebody that paddles these kayaks. Don't just go off a buddy's recommendation because he owns that kayak. So again, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy these videos. I wanted to get this one out for the gentleman that was asking about it. If there's anything else I can help out on this kayak or any other, let me know down in the comments. If you have any questions. Guys, if you have experience on this kayak, let us know in the comments. Let the people know that are looking at this kayak, maybe some other things to look for or other things to, you know, some other pros and cons that maybe you didn't hear me talk about here. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.